Ronald,
What?
there have been times board games have killed people. We're getting to the Halloween season, so I figured it'd be a good time to talk about times board games have killed. What am I hearing? Is that a murderer getting in?
Something cat related?
I think there's a murder. Cat murder, same thing.
It's from the dead.
Now let's talk about sometimes board games have killed. You just tell me how these make you feel.
Okay.
This has to do with the game of Yahtzee.
Ooh, I mean, my family loves Yahtzee. My grandpa called it Watusi.
It's the OG rolling right.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Still a good game. Still a good game. I stand by that.
So let's set the scene because this is close to home for you. Okay. It's Christmas Day, 2010. Minnesota, mother of three, Tamara Lee Mason, decided it might be fun to spend the day with her three sons, 17-year-old Jacob, 18-year-old Andrew, and 25-year-old Dylan, playing Yahtzee. The boys disagreed strongly. Jacob objected so strongly to the request, in fact, that he covered her head with a plastic bag and choked her with a belt.
What?
However, Mason's other two sons did not come to her aid. Mason had rolled a 3 of a kind, which set off her youngest. Then Dylan and Andrew helped Jacob place her body in a trash can to store until the ground was soft enough to bury her. When her remains were eventually discovered decomposing in the backyard, the jig was up. Jacob faced second-degree charges. His brothers were charged with accessory after the fact. Have you ever disagreed with playing a game so much that you decided to murder?
My own mother, no less.
Yeah. It's like, would you like to play Yahtzee? No, give me a plastic bag.
I mean, that was the die that broke the camel's back.
Yeah, that's pretty rough.
Woof.
Woof. Minnesota's crazy. Is that a Minnesota thing?
Said no one ever.
Here's another one. Of course, this is about Monopoly. Because who hasn't died over a game of Monopoly? Or at
Me,
least
yet.
Felt like they wanted to. So, this one says Monopoly game dispute ends in killing. These people. Violence flared among several people who were playing the game Monopoly for money, of course, leaving a dead man dead of gunshot wounds and an elderly man under arrest as suspicion of murder. Police said the 26-year-old victim, who was not immediately identified, was shot to death after he tried to borrow money from another player who had been involved in the game at a house in the 1800 block of Echo Park Avenue. Richard Bouge, 70 years old, who lived in a rear house where the argument occurred, interfered in the dispute, grabbed a rifle, and fired several times, hitting the victim in the chest. Bouge was booked of suspicion of murder and held without bail. Doesn't say what the event was, but they were playing Monopoly, so you could guess.
Wow.
Yeah. It's not
There's
even...
a lot of holes in that story.
There's a lot of holes in that story.
Including the hole in the poor guy.
And it wasn't the only guy, because there's another Monopoly shooting.
What?
In Tulsa, Oklahoma, a family game night.
Make it stop.
Ended with gunfire and handcuffs after a Monopoly game led to a fight. Police in Tulsa told KOKI that a family was playing Monopoly and drinking alcohol. On Saturday evening, when John Armstrong and his stepfather got into an argument, during the argument, the pair knocked over the game board and furniture before a family member told them to take the fight outside. Police said Armstrong suffered a cut to his head before he pulled out a pistol and chased his stepfather and stepsister down the street while pointing the gun at them. Armstrong allegedly admitted to the police that he fired one round at the ground because he wanted his stepfather and stepsister to stay away from his mother. Police officers said that when they arrived at the scene, they saw Monopoly money and game pieces scattered around the living room. They did not find a pistol. Armstrong was charged with assault with a deadly weapon. So not a complete shooting. Not a deadly shooting, I should say.
What? Okay, this is just more examples of not reasons not to play Monopoly.
Yeah, it seems like mass games are the things that are causing people to go mad. So that's why people need to get more into hobby gaming.
Yeah, I mean, where's the article that's like, friend stabs other friend over a game of Through the Ages, the modern story of civilization? Where's the Amerigo poisoning?
I mean, after a Twilight Imperium game, then I could say.
Now that I might murder someone else.
Yeah. Well, this one is actually more in the theme of... That one was like murder stories and, real crime. This one is kind of spooky since we're in the Halloween season.
Oh God!
11 children
tonight.
11 children in Colombia collapse at school after playing Ouija board game by Milton Bradley. No, I added that last part, but it is. The medical report said it was due to food poisoning. However, the mayor stated it is not ruled out that it was the Ouija board. An extremely peculiar incident. A group of students collapsed at a school in Colombia after using a Ouija board to contact the dead. According to The Independent, the teachers at the Agricultural Technical Institute in Hato found 11 students aged 13 to 17 passed out in a corridor. The students suffered violent vomiting, abdominal pain, and muscle spasms. In the medical reports, the doctors said that the students suffered from food poisoning. However, the mayor said it was not ruled out that it was part of the Ouija board and it is an ongoing investigation. The children were passed out at the time they were found. They were taking short breaths and thick drool was coming out of their mouths, the mayor said. It is not ruled out that it was the Ouija board. That is part of the investigation. Others say that they consumed water from a container. After the students were interviewed, that they drank water from the same glass.
This does not sound like any Ouija board's doing. It sounds like bad water.
What if the Ouija board told him to drink the water? Should we drink this water? Why? Or no, it just has a yes, doesn't it? Doesn't have to spell it out.
It spells out hydrate.
Hydrate. Hydration break.
Oh, gosh.
Meanwhile, for those unaware, the Ouija board can allegedly be used to contact the dead. It has letters, numbers, and the words yes, no, hello, and goodbye marked on it. Users place one finger on each of the small heart-shaped pieces of wood or plastic, they call it a planchette, then ask any spirits to answer the question by moving the planchette around the board to spell out the response. That is true.
I assure you that in Colombia, it does not say yes, no, hello, and goodbye.
You don't think so?
I don't think so. Unless they were in English class.
Says no. Si.
Si. No.
No.
Hola. Adios.
Adios.